Thieves, the different ways Kampala thieves will steal your phones. Story time. So previously I did a story time on how my friend's phone was stolen from church. And now this is another friend, and now her phone was stolen by her dad. So in Kampala, everyone is hustling. Even these men you see, they are hustling. They are looking for ways to earn a living. They are looking for ways to make money. They are looking for ways. So they resort into stealing. So here is how it begins. Yes, I can really remember that I introduced my friend to Tinder. That was back then, like during lockdown, you know. We were swiping on Tinder. Then I told her, she's like, oh, okay. She's single as well. She's looking for a companion, whatsoever. I tell her, download Tinder. So by that time she was downloading Tinder, I'd already gotten my person also of Tinder. So she swipes. But good thing with her was she was updating me on how it was going. So I'm gonna call her Viola. So Viola downloads Tinder and then meets, let's call him David. Viola meets David on Tinder and they start talking with David for quite some time. Like they talk, for quite some time. And she has been telling me about David, like, hi, David has been even sending her money. So, but the money wasn't that much. Like, he would send like 10K Ugandan shillings. That's like $3, you know, like, hi, have this 10K for lunch. So, one day, she had like, it was a weekend, so she had like a date. So, it's a Saturday, she goes for this date. But then, while she was for that date, David was on her case. Hey, I am free today. But remember, while they were chatting, David always presented himself as someone who has his own business, who is well off, someone who is he's running a really very nice business. Even his pictures, guys, you could see the pictures. Like, he looks successful, yeah. So he was apparently telling her about all this, how busy he is. But while she was on this date with this other guy, David puts her on pressure that, hey, girl, today I have gotten some free time and I need you to come ASAP. She was like trying to say like, no, why can't you reschedule it? Because what? Viola is on another date. So she didn't want to cut off that date. But so she explained to her date, like, you know what, someone really needs me quick, so we can still have this date, and then I go with David. So when she asked David, like, can we meet later, like at 5 p.m., since I am still doing something, like this was afternoon, like from 2. So in her mind, she was like, I'll do a date with this other person from 2 to maybe like 4, and then after 4, I go meet up with David. Now, David really, really wanted to meet her so bad, to a point whereby he sent her transport money. Like, hey girl, I really need to meet you, and we are meeting up at Freedom City. She didn't know where Freedom City was, so she called me and she tells me, hi Fanny, I'm on a date with this guy in Bugolobi, but I need to go to Freedom City. Where is Freedom City? Then I tell her it's along Entebbe Road. You can just do a safe border and they just take you there at Freedom City. So she was like, okay, fine. So she finishes her date and then she heads over where? To Freedom City to meet David. First of all, that would have been a red flag. That who takes you on a date in Freedom City? Anyway, back then we didn't know, but now our minds have opened. So she gets a safe border, that is around like 5 p.m. And when she was going, she calls me and she's like, now I'm headed to Freedom City. So the guy tells her where she should stop and what to do. She's like, when you reach, you call me. So my girl Viola reaches Freedom City, gives this guy a call. Tell me why the guy is telling her now that she has reached Freedom City. David is telling her, hey, you know what? I am still in office and I'm waiting for someone to take over and then I come for our date. You know, just give me a couple of minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and then I will come. So my girl is like, okay, fine. So she starts just moving around Freedom City, trying to see. And then, like, not even 15 minutes later, like 5 minutes later, David calls and is like, okay, instead of having you wait at Freedom City, I have a colleague who is close by Freedom City or works in Freedom City. Can I send him so he brings you to my office, and then when I am done, we go for our date? She was like, okay, cool. So he's like, okay. He calls this guy, and then another guy came by. So when that guy called her, let's call this guy Ian. So when Ian comes by, so David sends Ian to go pick Viola from Freedom City. Ian reaches Freedom City, calls her, and then meets her up. And you know what? Ian tells her, so just call him so that I confirm that you're the right person they have sent me to pick up. She gives the phone to Ian. And Ian is talking to David. That, hi, David, is she the lady? She's trying to describe her. And then Ian is like trying to walk away from her. Goes through a certain corner. She's not familiar with Freedom City in the first place. And before she knows it, the guy is gone with her phone. Tell me that David and Ian, they are not phone thieves. So when she comes back to me, she's like, when that happened, she tried to follow up the guy. And as Carrie told her, you know what, that guy is gone. He went that way. She tried to follow. He's gone. He is gone. Now, she comes back to me. So after realizing that her phone is actually stolen, because this is how you know, like once you call the number and it's off, just know it's stolen. So after that, she like asks the security guy, like, can you help me call my number? So she calls the number. It's off. The guy switched it off. So you all, Kampala men are there on Tinder, swiping, just to steal phones. Make it make sense. Like, you guys are so desperate to a point whereby you lure these girls to just steal their phones. And this sends out a lesson that you need to be careful on who you go to a date with. And after that incident, when she told me that incident, I told her, you know what, you don't have to go to dates to places you don't know, first thing. Secondly, just make a choice of a place where you feel safe. If you want me to be there with you during a date, I'm cool, we shall go. I'll pretend at least like I'm someone else, just for your safety. Because leave alone those guys, they just decided to steal her phone. But there is a possibility that they could have done something more harmful to her than just stealing a phone. So that is really something that clicked, and I'm like, you people, after that incident, I fear Tinder. We even deleted the app. So I was just grateful that she came back home safe. She was not harmed. Nothing else happened apart from those guys stealing her phone and left. So she found her way back home, and then she told me the whole thing, how it happened, how like she couldn't even think like these guys were just like trying to steal her phone. So imagine she had any other valuables, or imagine that guy could have taken her where they were taking her, where we also don't know. It could have been really, really a huge problem. But I'm really thankful to her, the fact that she was safe, and she told me that story. And you girls out there, we need to really be careful, because people are doing all sorts of evil apart from just stealing phones. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to know another story time, let me know. Bye.